All right, so we're talking about finding the slope of a line parallel to this one. This one's nice and easy because it's already in y equals mx plus b form. So if you know the slope of the line that's there, you know the slope of the parallel line. So let me grab your popsicle sticks here. All right, Jeremy, what is the slope of this line?
-3.
Yes, so the slope of the parallel line would still be -3, right? Because it doesn't change. If the slope of the original line is -3, the slope of the parallel line is -3. They are literally the same. We don't change anything. So all we have to be able to do for the first 6 really is just, if I know the slope of it, I know the slope of the parallel line. It's really no different. So these should be relatively easy, I'm hoping. Zoe, what's this one? Yeah, 3/2. I'm just looking at the number in front of the X. Nice and easy. This one, what do you get here? Ryan's not here, so he can't answer me. But Michael, you can.
1/5 or -1/5.
-1/5. Yep, you leave it exactly as you see it. -1/5, choice A. All right, now this is a little bit different. Lorenzo, what do I do with this thing?
Undefined.
Correct. So this is when you don't have an X and a Y, this is when you know, oh, it's a Hoy-Vuk situation. And remember, that's not my answer, though, obviously. It's just a tool to get me my answer. I have X in this case, so the slope is going to be undefined. So if I want something parallel to it, I leave it undefined. So yes, choice A is my answer here. Please be careful. All right, make sure that you're always watching if it's parallel or perpendicular. All right, now this one, we hit a snag. I don't know what the slope of this thing is because it's not in y equals mx plus b form. I have to get it so that it is. All right, so it won't be that difficult. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to rewrite it. So I got to move the 3x over. We take that -3x and we stick it right after the equal sign. And then I put the -3 on the end. I'm still not done yet, though, because I got to divide everybody by -1. Oops. Now I'm ready. Now I can look at this and tell you what the slope is. And then since I want my line to be parallel, I'm just going to leave it the same. So, Tom, what would my answer be here? Tom, did you hear I called on you? Tom? No? No, Tom? Last call, Tom, before you go on my list here. Oh, boy, starting off early this morning. Okay, what time is it? 9:18. Okay. Marissa, you tell me what the slope of this would be.
It will be 3x, -3x, sorry, 1/3. My answer to like 4 times.
What's your final answer?
It's 3.
Yes, 3. That's it. 3. The slope of my line currently, is 3, right? And if I want the slope of a line parallel to it, I leave it the same. So 3 is right. That's it. Just 3. Okay. Now, let's see. I think there might be one more that's parallel. Yeah. So this one, again, it's not in the right form yet. So please don't come in here and just say, oh, the answer is just 4. I know it's a choice there, but it's not the right choice. It's not right. If you say 4 is the answer to this, you're going to get it marked wrong every day because it's not right. What do? You got to minus 4x to the other side first. You have to get it into y equals mx plus b form. Now you can look at this and tell me what the answer is. And now you can hopefully see that it's not 4. It's what, Lily? -4 is correct. Yes, -4. That's what I'm looking for here. -4 is the correct slope. Now, I don't know. The grades weren't great on this homework, but I don't know if that's because you didn't realize. Oh, that's still parallel. I'll come back to that. See, look at this. Between 8 and 9, it switches to perpendicular. I told you to be watching out for that you were going to have a whole bunch be parallel, and then it's going to switch to perpendicular. I thought it was the first 6, but I guess it was the first 8 were parallel. But now it's perpendicular. So if you continued about your business doing parallel, well, then you're going to get all the perpendicular ones wrong. And so I hope that didn't happen for you. If anybody wants me to reset their homework grade, I'd be happy to do that for you. Or reset the assignment so you could try it again. But if that's what you did, right? These should now be perpendicular. So we learned yesterday that perpendicular, what do we have to do with the slope to get it to be perpendicular? Because you don't leave it the same. If it was the same, it'd be parallel. So how do I get it to be perpendicular?
I guess switch the sign and switch the number.
Yes. So you kind of have to do 2 steps for these ones. You have to figure out, all right, well, what's the slope of this line that they've given me, right? And in this case, that's just -2/5, right? If we were asking for parallel, you'd be done because you would just leave it as -2/5. But we're not asking for parallel anymore. We're asking for perpendicular. And to get the perpendicular slope, you do exactly what Marissa said. You have to take the opposite sign of what you see here and flip that fraction over. It's a twofer, right? So I have a -2/5, so now I want positive, and I have to flip the fraction over to be 5/2. That's how you do perpendicular. Oh, be careful. So opposite reciprocals, that was sort of the big thing that we talked about yesterday. Well, one of them. We had big fireworks in our notes to make sure that we remembered. Opposite reciprocals is what we're looking for here. So my answer would have been a positive 5/2. What you see is choice C. That's what you need. Okay? Perpendicular. 2 steps. Excuse me. All right, let's do. So this one, again, I'm going to start off by finding the original, and then I'm going to do the opposite reciprocal. Okay, so Anthony, he's not here, right? No. All right, let's put his popsicle stick over here. All right, Evan, what's the slope of this line right now?
Oh, no. -2.
Is it negative?
Positive.
Yep, it's just +2 because you just want the number in front of the x. But now, Evan, when I'm looking for the perpendicular slope, what's that going to be?
-2.
You're half right. You're right about the negative, but remember you have to do 2 things to get, yeah, -1/2. Opposite in sign and flip it over. So now I get -1/2, and that's my final answer. So on my test and my Fast 5, that's what I'm picking. You don't pick this. That's just the stepping stone to get to my final answer, right? I got to figure out what the slope is right now of this line that they're giving me. And then I have to see, all right, well, what would that perpendicular slope be? Opposite reciprocal, so -1/2 is my final answer. We're so happy about that. Okay, let's try another one. Ooh, tricky. Tricky, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the slope of the original, And then I'm going to do opposite reciprocal, right? That's how this works here. So I'll take a volunteer for this one. What is the slope of this original line, y equals 2, as it is? What's the slope of that thing? Yes, 0. I got it in the chat. 0, right? It's a Hoy-Buck situation because it only has a y. So if I have y equals, that means my slope is just 0. Okay, perfect. Now you have to do the opposite reciprocal of that. So what does that become? Yes, undefined. We talked about this yesterday. The opposite reciprocal, if you will, of 0 is undefined. Those two go together. So undefined, that's my final answer. That's what I'm going for. Yes, yes, yes. You would select choice D if that was a homework or a Fast 5 question, or one that's on your upcoming test tomorrow. All right. Okay, let's try this one. Anthony, now that you're here, you can do this one. So, Anthony, what is the slope of the original line that you see there? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
1/4.
Oh, yes. But Anthony, that wasn't that
1/4?
you?
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Nah.
Evan, thank you for your answer. I think that was Evan. But this is Anthony's problem now. So now, Anthony, tell me what the perpendicular slope would be.
I thought I heard my name, sorry.
That's all right. You were right, though.
-4?
Yes, -4, because I'm going to do opposite reciprocal. So -4 is my correct final answer. Choice D. Yes. Okay, now I feel like we're getting somewhere. All right, so here, you don't know what the slope is yet. I hope you're not looking at this and thinking, oh, the slope is just 1. It's not. In order to find out the slope of the original, it has to be in y equals mx plus b form. I know I sound like a broken record and you're tired of hearing me say it. I can stop saying it when you start doing it. So I take x plus y equals -2, and I have to get this in y equals mx plus b form first. I got to minus x from both sides. So I get y equals -x minus 2. Now I know what the slope of the original line is. What is it? Someone tell me. What's the slope of this thing right here? Someone tell me. Yes, -1. This is very interesting. So obviously my new slope is going to be positive, right? Because I need to do the opposite signs. What's the reciprocal of 1? It's still 1. Yeah, that's odd because think of 1 as a fraction. If you flip it over, you still, right? It doesn't even matter if I flip it, I still get 1/1. So 1 is sort of this really weird case that it is its own reciprocal. It's the only number that works like that. 0 doesn't work like that, right? Because if you take the reciprocal of 0, you actually get undefined. So I'm glad that this came up because, yeah, 1 is its own reciprocal. So that means that my answer over here for the opposite reciprocal of -1 is actually just +1. Weird. It is opposite and it is its reciprocal. Huh. So +1 is the right answer there. Oh, fun. Okay, I feel like we're getting better. So let me jump ahead to the ones at the end where you had to figure out if they were parallel, perpendicular, or neither, right? So all you're looking at is if they're going to be, and maybe this was part of it. Maybe you just get, because it changes the order of A, B, and C every time. So maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you thought they were always in the same order and you just picked the wrong ones. You got to slow down with these, all right? And I'm sorry, but there's not a way for me to sort of make it not do that. So it's always going to mix up the choices. So slow down and make sure you're picking the right one. So how do I tell what they are? Parallel means the slopes have to be identical. Same exact slope. You have no wiggle room. It has to be same sign, same everything. Same exact slope. Perpendicular, as you know, if it's going to be perpendicular, I need opposite reciprocals. If I don't have either of those things, that's when I'm picking neither. So I kind of do a process of elimination. I eliminate perpendicular and parallel first. If they're both out, then it's neither. That's all. Okay? So if I look at this particular one, I can see very clearly, oh, they both have the same exact slope. It's both a half. Same sign, same everything. So they're parallel. Remember, I really don't ever even care about this number on the end. It is irrelevant. I don't even look at it. It means nothing when I'm talking about parallel perpendicular. Okay? So let's see what's up with this one. All right, try this one. Jay, are these two going to be parallel, perpendicular, or neither, do you suppose?
Wait. Not sure.
Well, let's walk through them. Are they parallel? Do they have the exact same slope, both of them?
No.
No, so we're going to cross that off. To be perpendicular, the slopes have to be opposite reciprocals. Do we have that? So you have half of it. You have the reciprocal part. You have one half, and then if you flip it over, you do have two, but you need the opposite part also. So that means one's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. So do we have that?
Wait, so then would it be neither?
Correct. So they're not parallel, they're not perpendicular, so it's neither. Yeah. Okay, let's try another one. What do we got next? Oh, all right. What about these? Will, what do you say on these two?
They're parallel.
Oh, you're not
I mean,
quite.
I mean perpendicular because if you flip that, it's reciprocal and it is.
Yes. So parallel, they have to be 100% identical. They're not, but we do have those opposite reciprocals here. Yes. One half, flip it, make it negative. We get -2. All right, good. Okay, I think I've called on everybody now, so you're all back in the mix. Yep, let me put Anthony's back in here too. All right. So, ooh, this one. I'll actually take a volunteer for this one. Are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Interesting. Okay, I'm getting some answers in the chat, and they're all different. All right, so let's talk about this. I'll give you a hint. These numbers here, the -6 and the 4, don't mean anything. Because remember, it's not those numbers that I'm looking at. It's the slopes of these lines that I care about. The slopes and the thing. Take just y equals -6. Oops. What's the slope of that line, right? So you should be asking yourself, oh, okay, well, let me put it in y equals mx plus b. Oh, shoot, I can't put it in y equals mx plus b because there's no x. So, oh my gosh, it's a Hoy-Vuk situation. That's what's happening here, right? If you don't have both variables, you're going to this. So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, okay, I got a y equals, so that means the slope of this thing is a 0. So this very first one, his slope is 0. Now I do the same thing for x equals 4. Let's see what's going on there. Okay, again, I can't put it into y equals mx plus b form because there's no y, right? In this equation, these are separate equations. So x equals 4, there's no y there. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's another Hoy-Vuk situation. This time I have an x, so its slope is undefined. Okay, so now we know something for sure. They're definitely not parallel. Because if they were going to be parallel, they would have to have the exact same slope. And 0 and undefined are not the same thing. So parallel is out. The question now is, are these perpendicular? Are 0 and undefined opposite reciprocals of each other? If you remember yesterday when we made that chart, we said yes. Remember we put a big star by that example? 0 and undefined are related to each other. They are opposite reciprocals. I know it's kind of weird because you don't see the positive negative because 0 doesn't have positive and negative. But if you think about the lines, if it has a slope of 0, think about what it looks like. A slope of 0 is just a horizontal line, perfectly horizontal. If you have an undefined slope, that means the line is perfectly vertical. Isn't every horizontal line perpendicular to every horizontal line? Or I don't know if I said that right. Vertical and horizontal are always perpendicular to each other. So yes, although this is that weird situation, they are actually perpendicular. Yes. All right. Let's see. I think, oh, now these two, hopefully you get this answer a little bit quicker. Look, they're both y equals some number. What do you guys say on this one? Parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Yeah, these are going to be parallel. They're both y equals, so their slope is both 0. You have a slope of 0. You have a slope of 0. If they both have the exact same slope, you guys know it's parallel. If you were to graph it, this is just 2 horizontal lines. That's all. And yeah, 2 horizontal lines are definitely going to be parallel to each other. Yes. Okay. That one was kind of a fun one. Is that the last one? All right, we'll just do this one. So the top one, we just said, had a slope of 0, but the bottom one has a slope of 4, doesn't it? So what does that mean about these two? Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? I have a slope of 0 and a slope of 4. What are they? Oh, be careful. If one has a slope of 0 and the other has a slope of 4, they can't be parallel, right? Because those two slopes are not the same. So I'm going to actually cross parallel out. Perpendicular, I need them to be opposite reciprocals of each other. Look at the numbers. 0 and 4. Are those opposite reciprocals of each other? I don't think so. Right? Take 4. The opposite reciprocal of 4 would have been -1/4. That's not what I have. So I'm actually going to get rid of perpendicular as well. These are neither. They're just neither. If they're not exactly the same, get rid of parallel. If they're not opposite reciprocals, get rid of perpendicular. All right. I think that was it for the homework. Does anybody have any? I did skip a few here and there. Was there any that anybody really wanted me to do out? Or are you feeling like I'm still really confused? I would like you to do another one. So I can do that. We're okay? So please just really watch, because I'm worrying if that's why so many of you did so bad on this, that you weren't looking right here to see if it was asking you about parallel or perpendicular. Because look, as you go along, it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and then it switches to perpendicular. So if you're not looking, you're just going to keep doing the parallel and forgetting about perpendicular. But I wish it was sort of a bigger, like, hey, stop, it's perpendicular. But I don't know. All right, if there are no questions, then I'm going to go ahead and make that Fast 5 live. Give me just a second, and I'll get that. Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Sorry. If I forget to exit the view thing, it like crashes the program on me. I don't know why. So now I got to open it up again. Well, anyway, use this as a breather. Oops. So this is gonna be fast 5:30. Let me change. Sorry, I thought my phone was off. Let's change this. So funny story while I'm doing this. I had messed up the numbers yesterday. Like I had called, we already had like a homework 29 and I called it 29 again or something weird, right? So, but I didn't realize it with you guys for some reason. I fixed it now, but then I go, so C Block, they struggled with the homework from yesterday's homework. They're, what was due yesterday. So I spent all this time going over it and oh my gosh, it's crashing on me again. Are you kidding? Ugh. So anyway, yes. I spent all this time going over the homework with them yesterday, and I'm like, okay, is everybody all set? You know what you're doing now? And they're like, yeah. So I give them the Fast Five from yesterday, and the highest grade was a 60 out of the whole class. And I'm so frustrated. So I lay into them. I'm like, you guys are paying no attention to me. I spent all this time on it. I don't understand. No one's asking any questions. So, and I'm going on, and I'm really, guys, I assigned them the wrong Fast Five. They hadn't even learned the stuff yet. No wonder they all got 60s. But why didn't they realize it was the wrong one? I don't know. But yeah, I felt like such a jerk. Whoops. So I'm trying to avoid that, doing that again. I will try and make sure I assign you the right one. So I guess I should be kind of proud that they got 60s on stuff they hadn't even learned yet. All right. It should be there. Can you hop on to CUDA and just verify that you see Fast Five number 30? Slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines.
I see it.
Good. All right. Give that one a shot. Okay, let's see where we're at. All rightish. Okay, let's get. Okay, I have just one or two of you finishing up. I'm just going to grab all your grades super fast. Okay, today is the 8th.
Miss Celia,
Yes.
would you say that until the end of tomorrow, that's like our deadline for when we pass the homework?
Yeah, you can. I can give you through tomorrow. That's fine. I don't know. They always just say grades close Friday. So, right. Does that mean like
Take like,
at midnight tonight? Does it mean in class? Does it mean at midnight tomorrow? I'll give you, if you need to work on it tomorrow night, I'll take it tomorrow night.
There are
Alright.
teachers who accept homework like over the weekend and stuff too. Like they don't like officially close until like I think Wednesday. That's
So I need to submit them by Wednesday. So I think what's supposed to happen is kids are supposed to have it in on Friday, and then that gives the teachers that couple days to grade everything, put everything in, do all that stuff. So yes, if some teachers want to extend some time, I mean, I guess I'm not opposed to it. I have in the past on sort of case by case basis. Basis? Would it be basis? But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you wanted to. The sooner the better. I'll say that.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think everyone is now done with the Fast Five, right? Yes. Okay, so our review activity. Oh boy. So we're going to play Jeopardy, but I don't do it quite the same as usual. And so here's what I need you to do first. Can you get yourself a piece of paper that's not in a notebook, just like a loose piece of paper, blank, preferably. I don't care if it has writing on the other side. I just need one side that's blank. So can you locate yourself a piece of paper, everybody? Lined, unlined, doesn't matter. Just get some paper. And I'm going to put this.
Paper.
Yes, get a piece of paper. So my kids at home, you need to be doing this as well. I'm basically going to have this, as long as you participate with me in class, then I'm going to give you credit for today's assignment. I will award, I don't know, I don't know. I guess I can do. Oh, this is actually perfect timing since grades are closing. Yes, I will award bonus points for whoever wins. Maybe I'll even do stuff for first, second, and third place. I don't know. We'll see. So you'll get credit for the day's work if you just participate and do what I'm asking you to do. And if you don't do it, then I mean, I can't force you, but you're just going to get a 0. And the week of grades closing, that's not really going to help you very much. So let's see. Where am I? I'm going to share my screen here. I'll start this bad boy up.
How would I just label it again? I'm sorry.
I haven't told you yet. I just want you to get the paper. So kids at home, make sure you are getting yourself a piece of paper. Again, I don't care if it's the back of something else. I don't care if it's lined, unlined. I don't care. Okay, so hopefully you have your, oh, I'm still recording this. I don't need this anymore. Let me stop that.